Kalan, tell me what it means when someone says they want multiple streams of income. Tell the people. Why do the people need multiple streams of income?
COVID says it all. What's the difference between having an LLC for your business and being trademarked?
For me, I'm trying to get multiple streams of income because I'm trying to retire early. 62, can't do it.
All right, what's going on, y'all? Welcome to another episode on the Stream Chasers. You got myself, Kalan.
And I'm Candace.
And we're glad that you're here joining us on another great episode. You know how we like to do. We got to tag up with each other. But before we do that, before we get started, we just want to say thank you for everyone that's been tuning in these last couple of months with us. Seems like it's been a long ride already. I think from, February 15th was our first payday.
Yes.
And now we're in double digits, can't even keep up no longer. But before we get started again, like I said, I just want to thank all the listeners out there that have subscribed so far, all the people on Spotify, Apple. Thank you for your support.
Yes.
All right. But like I said, you know how we always got to do. We got to tag up with each other. So Candace, let myself and the listeners know what's been going on these last couple of weeks.
Oh, so many things. So, one thing that I think people should know is that even when you've been in business for a long time, so I've been in business 5 years now, right? You're still always like refining your processes. Like it's always a tweak. One thing that I think I've decided over this last 2 weeks is to get rid of so I make a product. If you don't know, if it's your first time listening, and I make like wedding brooms for folks, right? And wedding invitations, that kind of thing. I've decided to get rid of like the rush fee option. It's not working out. Like every time I have heart palpitations, like there's always something happening. It's always around the rush, right?
Okay.
It's like somebody waited till 3 days before their wedding and they're like, I need a broom. And I'm trying to accommodate, trying to be nice, and try to do the thing. But it's like, I have a set production day. And then the post office, I don't control the post office. Yeah. And that's really the thing. Like if you have a drop dead date, if your thing is on that Saturday, if the post office, I could take it there on Tuesday. If they don't do what they're supposed to do, I can't. Yeah. It's nothing I can do.
So just real quick, what was your rush thing, like next day or 3 days? Or?
No, so the typical handling time on the product is two weeks, right?
Okay,
so it's a 2 week, because it's a custom make every time, right? So after 2 weeks, it goes off. It's usually 2 to 3 day turnaround with the post office because of priority mail, right? Because that's what I use. The rush fee option gives you the option if you buy this, so you buy the broom, if you buy the rush handling fee, what it does is basically kick you to the front of the line for production. So I promise that I'll get it out within 3 days. So it'll take me 3 days to make it because sometimes I have to source whatever it is they're looking for, right? Make it within 3 days and get it off. So, and then I'll priority express it.
Gotcha.
Priority express with the post office, most of the time it's 1 day. Sometimes if you're on the other side of the country, it's 2 days. So you're looking at going from like 2+ weeks to like 5 days ish.
Gotcha.
And it's the ish that be messing with my ish. And I can't do it no more. And
gotcha.
I mean, this weekend I've been having conversations with a woman, like I sent it off. She was in Richmond. There's no reason she shouldn't have got this broom on time. Yeah. But the post office, I want you to know that as of today, it's still in the distribution facility.
She wasn't getting married anytime.
She got married on Saturday. I sent it off on Wednesday, right? It should have been there 1 day. It should have been there on Thursday. But,
And that's those stressors because you don't want her to all of a sudden leave no bad reviews.
And they do. And I'm like, and then I'm using the Etsy platform. So the Etsy platform automatically pings you for, like, once they know that it's been shipped, they ping the customer for a review. If it were me personally, I would not ping said lady. I would be like, I'm just going to tiptoe away from this one. It did not go the way we wanted. But Etsy be like, hello, would you like to leave a review? And like,
and of course there's no refunds because it's custom, so she can't even use it. So
what I have done over the past certain colors I will refund. So like she has a very popular color broom, even though it's not a standard one, but because it is, I'm willing to risk it, refund her, send her a return label, get it back, and I might maybe need to make one modification before somebody else will buy it. So for her specifically, but generally speaking, custom pieces don't have a refund. So it's like, it's just, anyway, so over the last 2 weeks, I have decided that I can't do it no more. I can't do the rush fee thing. The policy is out there. It's 2 weeks to make it. Like, that's what I have to stick with for now until I'm doing this full time. Maybe once I'm doing it full time, think about it, but because I'm doing this after work, after dental appointments, after
everything else,
I can't do it.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Real quick, before we get on me, have you thought about almost doing something like how they do on eBay? So you know how you can auction or bid on most of the things. Yeah. But then on some products you have buy it now. Yeah. Like, so for you, wedding season should be ending fairly soon. Mm-hmm. In the off season or the down season, so like October through, let's say, January, would you consider just putting like 10 to 20 standard brooms, different colors, just having them as an inventory? Yes. And you can put those as a buy it now. Or I'm sorry, in your case, it would be like the rush now. Yeah. And it's just those.
And they're already done.
So you still have that option.
Yeah, I think that's what so it has been my plan, as we was talking about lists and things to do some standard colors that I see quite frequently all the time. But it's tough to do during wedding season. So once wedding season is over, then, as you said, like, around here, wedding season is really not over until like October. So once October hits, then I'll do some standard, take some photos, have them listed. Whenever somebody buys them, off they go. Gotcha. Yes, that will be the plan, and that keeps money flowing through the off season. Okay. I said no more. Anthony, me and my husband were going to go get something to eat. He was like, and I'm like corresponding with the lady in the car, and even like small stuff. Like, I'm like, so what post office are you near? Because maybe we can call and see where the courier is. And she's like, I don't know. Help me help you. I don't work for USPS, So Anthony was like, just an observation. It seems that these rush things aren't working out so well. Yeah. So I think we're gonna just chill on that for a minute. Yeah. Okay. Whew. How about you?
Not as stressful as that. For me, it's the normal work, and how can I get off of that job? Not saying that I don't like the job. I was just having this discussion earlier, but I think I'm just at one of those places where I know, like, my vision is so clear cut now. I know my path. So it's just like doing the things to get there. And it's like I'm wasting my time. I feel like I'm wasting my time. Or my time can be better served doing other things. Got it. Because I have adopted the whole mindset of, while I'm there at the job, to soak up every little bit of knowledge I can. So I'm using that to be like my motivating thing to keep going to work. So it's like, all right, well, I'm getting to do this program management. I'm getting to do this program management today. So one day when I have my staff, I know how to manage the older people, the younger people, just everything in between. But other than that, we've been pretty busy trying to look at some spaces for Go Stretch. Just trying to see, if we can find the right thing. And just other things. Like we were talking about earlier, just getting our systems together, trying to get automated to take the burden or to reduce some of the burden. But fun things. Everything that is involved with business.
Every day, it's a grind.
It's a grind. But speaking of business, we always have an amazing business entrepreneur on, or somebody that's all about getting into multiple income streams. And today, we're not here to disappoint you. So today we have the first of, on our Stream Chasers show, the first person who has been on our show that has a franchise, a Dominican hair salon. She goes by the name of Jeimy. She's located right here in PG County, right here in Bowie. If you're in the Bowie area, Upper Marlboro, anywhere on this side of the 301, she's located very close. And then she has 2 salons, I believe, in PG County. So we're going to talk about all that. We're going to get into the franchise effort, some of those things that it takes, because a lot of times, at least from my discussions, everybody's like, oh, franchise. And it's like, I think I want to franchise a Five Guys or a Rita's or a Chick-fil-A.
Don't you worry about it.
But it's like, this is thinking bigger. How about you become the franchisor? Oh. And you make the shots. Because what I didn't know... it's one thing you can be a franchise or a franchisee, I think is what they're called, and say you're a boss. Yeah. But it's like a it's like a thrift store. It's called Once Upon a Child.
Yes.
Once Upon a Child, where you return clothes. You know, all your consignment shop for like kids. Me and my wife were in the shop a few years ago, and I see like the staff is going crazy. Like it's like all hands on deck. Fixing up the building. Like I'm talking about painting, making sure the lights are up, making sure everything's clean. So we just happen to ask, like, what's going on? Like you still have patrons in here, you know.
Everything all right?
Yeah, they're like, oh, the franchise owner is on their way here on Monday for a site visit. And we got dinged the last time that they were here on site because this shade of gray was not the right shade of gray. It should have been this shade of gray. So that's when I started thinking, like, so that was the first time I got exposed to, like, so you're a franchise owner, but you don't make the shots still.
Oh, yes.
You don't make the shots. That person who's the franchisor makes all the shots. So that's what you're going to get into, like, some of those type of things, you know, like looking bigger, you know, because as a business owner, there are some things that you know, you would like to do differently. You know, but you can't. Five Guys says their colors are red and white and black. You're not going to make it blue, white, and black. I don't care how much you like blue. You just can't do it. But yeah, so that's what we're going to get into today.
You know, the thing about franchising is, so my first kind of exposure to it was I worked for McDonald's when I was like 14, right? And I remember when the franchisee, I guess is what you want to call it, came into the shop. Now, he was a big deal, maybe because I was 14, but also because he owned 7. So it wasn't like he was just, you know, doing one McDonald's. He had 7. So he had that region on lock. GC Fair. I'll never forget Mr. Fair. And so I remember when he used to come through, like he would do spot checks, just come through and even with something as prescribed as McDonald's, like, you know, they give you the fries, they give you everything you need. So it really shouldn't be no deviations. He was for real about keeping his business. And I could tell once I started working for him, I travel, you know, you 14, you go places, whatever. I traveled outside the region one time and went to a McDonald's outside of the region, and the difference in the small things you notice as an employee between that franchisee, like that group of franchises, I guess I should say, and elsewhere. So it was interesting, you know what I mean? And I've always like kept that in back of mind. I said I was going to own Chick-fil-A. It feels like
your net worth got to be so high to get a
Chick-fil-A. I know, but that's what we aiming for.
That's what we aiming for.
But it feels like, and I could be wrong, and maybe our guest today will help us kind of level the playing field, but it feels like having a franchise might be that might be the business for someone who wants, like, I don't want to do marketing plans, and I don't want to do all that other stuff.
All the other stuff.
I just want to, like,
give me the business in a box.
Yes. Come on, that's what a business in a box. That's what I'm looking for. So it feels like franchises might be the way to go. But anyway,
So without further ado, we have Jeimy, who's the owner of Salon. I believe it's 809. Yep, 809. And before we get started and just diving in, can you kind of just let the listeners know, like, what's some of your background? You know, how you came to be in business for yourself.
I'm originally from the Dominican Republic, and I came to this country when I was 16 years old, and I went to Puerto Rico first at 14. Long story short, my dad sent me back to my country, to Dominican Republic, and there I started working as a shampoo tech in a hair salon. Came back to Maryland at age 16 and started working all sorts of jobs. I had to learn English. And then in the back of my mind, I've always known that I wanted to have my own business. So once I saved a little bit of money, having a hair salon, it was just what came to mind. Yeah, so I opened one without knowing any stylist. Well, I did hair backtracking. I did hair out of my basement for about 6 months. When my daughter was too little, so I stopped it. Saved some money, opened the salon, but I still had a full-time job. And so I never really did hair, but I will manage. I had started with one stylist, and I will work the front desk.
Yeah.
Once I got off of work.
That's something.
So
I like that already.
Yeah.
The owner working the front desk. That's hustle right there.
So that's how that started, and it started to grow, and it was always being where I didn't have to be in the business for the business to work. And that's how franchising that's how it was so easy to franchise, because the business model was already set from the beginning.
I like that. I like that. Yeah, because I think, like you said, already from the beginning, the fact that you already had it set out that you necessarily don't need my hands.
Yeah.
To make this business operate. And, you know, as you grew, you already were able to, I mean, it's easier to find somebody to work a front desk to answer phone calls. You just train them on your customer service and the way you want them to greet your guests. But it's a lot harder to find the technical people who can do all the hair washing and all that type of stuff. Yeah,
that's crazy, because in my mind, I'm like, how do you own a hair salon and you not the stylist? But that's a traditional way of thinking, right? And that's how people get stuck too, because like we talked about before, you know, if like, let's say I love the way that you did hair, right? How do you depart from that? Like, how do you grow? And because you only have 2 hands and you only have 8 hours in a day where you can do hair. So it's like, you know, how do you grow beyond that? I mean, obviously you can get other stylists around you and all that, but if people are lining up for Jeimy specifically, that makes things difficult. But if you start a salon where you're not the stylist, she was like, no, I'm not styling. I'm gonna work this front desk. That's the way to go. That's the way to do it.
Yeah.
I applaud.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes, I didn't want to be the technician. That's not my, even though the hair salon was the thing for me to do, it was always the plan was to do a business. It's a business. It's not your normal hair salon, how people just go open a hair salon, they working and they doing everything. You can't grow like that, because you one person, you only can do but so much, you know. And if you're working on the share, you can focus on learning, on working on everything else to grow that business.
Right.
So if you don't mind, how old were you when you opened the salon?
So I'm 40 right now. Let's backtrack. And we've been open about 6 years.
Okay.
So 34.
Okay, so 34. Because the reason I ask that is the fact that, well, I want to know, did somebody ingrain that in you, or like put you on to that knowledge of don't do the job? You know, like hire out, you know, the specific skills and you work the front desk? Or like, is that just something you just knew off the break? Like, you know, I'm open this salon, but I'm not doing nothing. Because like, that's a hard thing, because like a lot of business owners don't know that. But the fact that you hit that off the break is like, it's like baffling. It's like, how did you understand that young? Oh, I mean, as a first business owner.
Well, I don't know. I guess the lazy part of myself, you know, because even though we work a lot, I have my own business. I'm kind of lazy when it comes to that, and I wanted a business. I didn't want to do hair.
Yeah.
So that's what made it for me, and because of my background, it was all administrative. That's what I like to do. I like to be behind the scenes when things go crazy. I like to run around, go get products, go do this, make things work. I can't sit on the chair just doing hair. It's just I don't see myself growing that way. So I don't know where I got it from. I'm thinking that I doing a business from my dad, not realizing he always had a business.
Gotcha.
But my dad actually works in the business. So now that you ask me the question, I'm kind of wondering that myself, how I decided that I didn't want to work. It was just, I just knew that it had to be a business. It wasn't your regular salon. You know?
Yeah. I mean, a lot of hairstylists will, you know, you go to school, get your license, and then they don't want to work for somebody else. They open up their own salon, but that literally does trap them behind the chair. And I can imagine after 10 hours on your feet, coming home, trying to work on CRM systems, POS systems. Nobody got time for that. I'm sleepy. You know what I mean? I done spent 10 hours standing up. I don't have it. And one might even believe, as a matter of fact, I feel like I've even heard, because it's funny that we're having this conversation, because it is bringing back to me at one point I thought about owning a barbershop, because I was like, I think I could do this barbershop thing. My uncle was a barber, and like he taught me a lot about the business and how the chair fees work and the this and the that. And so I was like, I think I can do that. But I was discouraged from owning it because somebody told me along the way, well, how you gonna own a barbershop and you don't have a license? And I was like, well, I guess I need to learn. And so I just kind of put that asunder. But now Jeimy told me that I can own a shop and I don't have to be a barber.
Yeah, because real importantly, like they say, a great entrepreneur or a great manager is great at leading people. Yes. So that's really the job. Because like, again, if you want to own a barbershop, you'll learn the principles of the barbershop and how to operate that. Yeah. But it's really, can you manage everybody else's expectations? The booth rent. You know, are you going to have a set schedule, or are you going to let them do their own thing? You know, so it's like just managing the people.
Yes, and I guess for me also, because I had a job when I opened, so that's, now that I'm thinking back, I had a job and I had a good job. You know, it was a federal government job, and you don't want to leave it. And also you want to be able, because my employees are employees. It's not if you didn't make $1 today. If we didn't make $1 today, you won't get paid. No, you had to get paid. In fact, they get paid every 2 weeks. When I got paid at my federal job, because my whole check will go to the salon every 2 weeks when we first opened. And because I wanted to keep my job and grow the business, that's how you
were able to do it.
Okay,
so you're able to do it and maintain it.
Is that still your same policy and procedure, that your employees are still employees?
Yes.
Oh, okay, I like it.
Yeah, I like that too, because just comparing that to a barbershop, most barbershops that I know, it's like they're freelance in a way. They do their own thing. Like, if I don't feel like showing up today, or I only feel like cutting 3 heads, I'm only cutting 3 heads.
Yeah, and roll out.
It's hard to control when it's like that, and to have a business when you have somebody that can do their own schedule. It can be done, but it's just...
So I'd like to ask you a question about that. Like how you said it's harder to manage like the traditional barbershop way. Do you find it harder to get employees to buy into that, like from, into your salon? And like I said, I don't know how it typically works with like women, but again, like with the men in barbershops, they want to do their own thing. They don't want another man, even though it's his barbershop, telling them like when you can come, when you can go. So like, do you find that a challenge?
I have a hair salon. I will not deal with barbers.
Gotcha.
Sorry. But no, because it's the culture, the Dominican, so we have a pay system that we're doing. It's sort of like the culture of how the Dominican hair salons do it. And the staff that we have right now, it's all Dominicans, because that's our niche. We do Dominican hair straightening. So no, it's not hard.
That's good.
Some people like to also know how much they're gonna make every every week, every 2 weeks. Yeah. And so you just find those people that wanted to go that way.
Okay.
Oh, I like that. And with the niche, I can see that, right? So I've been to a Dominican hair salon, done that a couple of times, and the efficacy that they work with, like they get you in, what you want, you get in the press, cool, we going to this station, somebody's here gonna wash me at the bowl, you gonna go here, you gonna like, it's very, it's so efficient that it's mind-blowing in comparison to other salon kind of experiences that I've had, where it is one stylist, right, one technician, she's gonna wash you and she's gonna do your hair, and it's like everybody's on their own schedule. Even the place that I kind of frequent now, there are 3 ladies who one lady owns the shop, if you will, the space, and 3 of them work together, but they do all keep separate schedules and separate appointment books. So it's like, it's, so you can't just walk into the storefront and decide that I want to get my hair done today, and maybe somebody's going to meet me and do. It's like everybody's keeping their own appointment book. It's a separate thing. Maybe if somebody's here today, it's gonna work. And so that gets back to like the traditional barbershop style, hair salon style, like, having employees. Now it's funny, because if I were a new stylist or a new technician, I would much prefer Jeimy's system, right? because I'm gonna get paid every 2 weeks.
Yeah,
you know how they always
bills.
I got bills to pay, and you know they always say the new barber chair be empty because ain't nobody trying to trust him, ain't nobody trying to sit in that front chair, you know, that kind of deal.
Yeah.
So I would much prefer to buy into Jeimy's system at least until I built my own clientele, people who really were asking for me, and then maybe I'd try something different. So that's interesting.
Yeah,
I like it.
Yeah, and I like it too.
Would you go to a barbershop where you knew you could walk in and like be serviced, or do you prefer your appointment booking style?
So I prefer my appointment booking style. But so because like a lot of barbers, well, before, so like years and years ago when we were very young, you know, I mean, and even I guess maybe like the last 5 to 6 years, because like really appointments is something that's kind of new in the barbershop world. It used to be just, walk in, and it's like, how many you got? And then it's like, I got about 5. And then it's like, well, I don't know which one I'm behind. And then it's like, all right, you next. So it's like, you can be sitting in there for like 5-6 hours just to get a quick shape up. Yeah. Something that take like 45 minutes. So it's like, I love the appointment style. So it's like Thursday at 3, I know I'm in there. Yeah. So I do like the... Okay.
For us, we doing appointments too, but you have a staff that sit there, you know, Tuesday through Sunday. So if we have that space, we can accept walk-ins, but we actually switch from walk-in only to appointments and walk-ins during the pandemic because we were forced to do it. I actually didn't think we were able to do it just because I always had a system. My system was capable of doing appointments, but I never thought about doing it because there's so many variables. When somebody make an appointment and walk in, they may need deep conditioner. They may come in after braids. So it's going to take you longer in the shampoo bowl. So we didn't know how to manage
that
true. Time and kind of just, okay, how many people do I take today? I don't know really what's coming in. And but with COVID, we were forced to do it, and it's working wonderful because sometimes we'll have a rush at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, 10 people, and we had to do it, and you get out of there at 10 o'clock at night. So COVID helped with that. We pivot that way,
with the COVID.
We like love it, and I'm glad I already had the system in place where it was seamlessly used. Like, okay,
no, that's good.
That is good. It's like, I wonder if you could take, because I know the other thing that's really important to some people is like, who is the person behind your haircut? Like, you're not just gonna let anybody cut your hair, right?
Nah.
So I wonder though if you could still take that style, because I would love to franchise, like I said. So I'm thinking about myself selfishly in this interview. I'm sorry for y'all. So I would love to take like the barbershop method, and then and be okay with like, okay, this is Kalan's barber. He's got a clientele list a mile long, you know, people who always come see him. But you gotta come to work at 8 a.m. and you gotta stay till 8 p.m. or whatever you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't just float in here at any time. Like, the expectations are, if you're gonna work in this salon or in this shop, you're going, even if you don't have an appointment time, you gotta be here, and maybe you'll get walk-ins during that time. And it's like, how do you incentivize folks to be there for that amount of time? I'm gonna think about it. I'm gonna sit on it.
That's some
maybe
good
we'll
brainstorming.
come up with the answer. Yes,
that's some good brainstorming. But like Jeimy said, I mean, at the end of the day, if they really want to work or get a job, they're going to conform to the way our policies are. Yeah,
right.
You know, it's going to weed out some, but the ones that do buy in, that's who's really down for the cause.
Yeah, I like it.
And the way that we do it is, I'm in charge as the salon to bring all of the clientele. So I'm the one out there talking to clients. I have a front desk that handles that. You don't make your own appointment. We make the appointment for the hair salon based on the stuff that we have. You as a client can ask, okay, can this person do my hair? And that's how we put you under that person, because you eventually do develop a relationship with your stylist, and that's the person that you want to do your hair. So that's the way we do. That's the way we do it. But I'm responsible, not the staff, to bring the clientele. So the clientele is Salon 809 clientele, and we figure out how to serve the client.
Gotcha. Okay.
All right.
So just if we can go back a second. So when you said you were still working at the government job and you had one employee at the time running the operations. What type of interview process did that look like? Because you're now trusting this one employee with your baby while you're working the 9 to 5 and they got to do it all until you off of work. So like, what type of trust did you have to have in that person?
None. A good system in place.
Just a good system in place?
Oh, a good system.
Cameras.
Oh, yeah.
A ticket system.
Gotcha.
And a system on the computer. So if I'm looking at the cameras and I see 3 clients at the salon and I only have 1 client in the system,
oh yeah,
we have a problem.
Oh yeah.
So I'm calling or I'll call to make jokes so they know that I was always watching.
Yes.
And I was always talk to the customer, so sometimes I had the phone transferred to my cell phone. So it was just this system that I developed. Even now, it can be by itself. We don't. The system is just so it works so well.
Gotcha.
That the salon works by itself.
Okay.
Did you hear her say cameras? Okay,
Yeah,
cameras and a good system. That's the kind of trust you need. Okay, I'm here for it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Now you gotta let them employees know because
Yeah.
like you're literally trusting them with your brand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
While you're away, and that's a scary thing when it comes to hiring in general, whether you're on site or not, because there are going to be times where you have to run to the bank to make deposits, and somebody else sitting there and a walk-in comes. It's like, how are you addressing my new patrons? So it's like,
yes,
and that's the hard part about growing, because you do have to relinquish some of that control. But it's like, what you spent years to build, what you have put years into Pretty Prince. But as soon as it's time to you get your own print shop,
yes,
and it's time to start allowing other people to run the shop, it gets scary.
Yeah.
Yes, it's scary. Definitely is. Even now, sometimes, if a client complains or something, I'm like, I'm not there. Let me know and tell me everything, because I only know what you tell me. I can't see everything for me to fix it and control it. But I have to give that control, because guess what? I cannot be at every shop all day, every day.
Yeah.
And I guess that's part of franchising, right? Because now there's another shop out there. So at first it was one shop where you couldn't be everywhere all the time. And now there's another shop out there, and that one is living, surviving, breathing without you. How does that work? Like, how did you get to the point where you were ready to open a second shop? And I guess I know your answer is going to be cameras and a good system, but I think when I think about a whole second place, like I definitely, one thing I can't be is 2 places at one time. You know what I mean?
Right. But I'm barely at the first location.
Okay.
Anyways, so now on the second location, even less. I'm actually at my first location a little more because it's closer to my house. It's like 10 minutes. And I have an office there. But I don't need to be there at all. It just work. And that's the reason why we found a seller as soon as we franchise, a buyer. So we have a franchisee. We have our first one that's going to open in Baltimore. And
that's so exciting.
That's near Crofton. Yeah.
Okay, so the 2 that's here in PG, you are still like the manager or the...
Yes, I'm the owner, and I do manage it. They call me when big decisions need to be made or something is going wrong, and they need help. Gotcha. But I have a manager that manages both. She do the scheduling now, so because I will need to put all of my time into the franchisee now to grow. Yeah, to help first them. Baby, to grow.
Yeah.
Oh, and how did you go about setting that up? Does that require a lot of different paperwork, or like for someone to buy into your situation?
So for them to buy, they need to be first qualified. I won't sell to anybody because it's my baby, it's my brand. I want to make sure that you don't come in there and change the red to yellow.
Yes,
So it had to be the right person that believe your vision and wants to do what you have. So we talk about the business, and then it's a matter of signing paperwork and putting some money together, and then we find a place and we get up and rolling and do the same thing I did for my second one. So
was it your idea to find a buyer, or did they find you?
They found me. So I hinted on Instagram that I started the process of franchising. So it was a customer, and she sent me a message, and I'm like, I'm not done yet with the process of franchising, because that's a whole process that can take 6 to 8 months before your company is franchised.
Okay.
So when I finally did, I was like, well, you're franchised now. So she was like, I went in. What does it take? We had a few meetings. We clicked. She's great. And one of the things that she said was, she is a longtime client. She goes to my Huntsville location. When she went to Bowie, she said the process was just seamless. She loved how everything was still the same.
Yeah.
And she got to me because her salon was closed the day that she wanted to go. So when she came to my salon, she felt like it was home, and she's being a loyal client ever since. So she loved the process, and so that I repeated the process on the second location. So when the opportunity became available to franchise, it was a no-brainer for her.
Gotcha.
Look at that.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's why it's important to treat every client the best you can, because you never know. This client ended up being your new, what would it be called? Franchisee? Yeah, franchisee. Started off as just a client who was just looking for the service.
Right. Just looking to get my hair done. That's all.
Yes, and she's been watching, the whole process and how everything works. And she was like, okay, this is the business I can, I can do and I can have. And I don't want to do everything else to
business in a box.
Yes,
there we go.
So tell me what to do, I'll do it. I like the way that it's done. And
got you. So walk us, if you can. I know it's a lot, but walk us through the process that you had to go through to become franchised.
Believe it or not, it's not a lot. If you have a system in place, and your business work, and you have all of your processes in place, and you're pretty organized, it's not. You hire a firm that will do it for you. They will do the paperwork for you. You have to have manual procedures in place and all of that stuff, because you basically you think about it as a recipe. It's a recipe that I'm giving you, so you can make that salon work like I made this two salon work. So you have to follow that recipe. So if you have the recipe, it's just a matter of putting it on paper, and the company who help you franchise can help you go through that processing.
And that's like the firm that you're talking about?
It's the firm, yes, who does that.
Okay.
And so they help you put together like SOP manuals and standard operating procedures and all that kind of stuff?
Right. So they talk to you. You have meetings. You tell them what you do. How is it that you do it? For the operating manual, we went through everything, but he came also visit the salon to see how everything worked. So not only I told him over the phone, I showed him what everything was, and then he tweaked a few things, and that's how you get your federal disclosure documents and the manual and all of that.
So when they come, because I'm looking at it from the lazy standpoint, because like when you start saying SOPs and that, to me, that's a lot of writing. So like when they come, or when you have these meetings, is it I'm gonna tell you what the SOPs are, and you take my notes, and then they draft it, the firm? Okay.
Yes.
So that sounds good.
Yeah. Usually, yeah.
Okay, because the average person should know their business inside and out. Okay.
Yes. So it's pretty standard stuff that they kind of use, and they go and see other businesses that are similar to yours.
Gotcha.
And they become with the pro forma, all the numbers, because there's a whole lot of stuff that I don't know that's on there, but it's kind of standard. So they come and get your niche and what is it that you do. So if you know everything, have everything in place, it's just like I know from the top of my head what my bills are.
Yeah.
Okay. I know what my income is. I know what my my high sale, what my price point in my average, my average service. I know what that is. I know how much construction is going to cost me on an 1,100 square feet place. I know how much rent it's going to be if I'm in a shopping center that have a big anchor like Walmart. I know how much my rent is going to be where I'm at, where it's a it's the little shopping
like
center.
the tucked away. Yeah.
So you paying less. So from on top of my head, I know exactly what it takes to open another salon, depending on the location, how much it's going to cost.
Gotcha.
Okay, so then here's my next question. Because now I'm thinking, I'm about to franchise Go Stretch. All right? I'm like already in my head about franchising.
Oh, trust me, we already, yeah.
So what, I guess, I know that if you own two locations currently, like you are the owner, so profit from that comes to you, you know, you pay your salon. How does the profit margin buy-in situation work with a franchise? Like, is there a percentage that you get off the top? Is that how it works?
Yes. So you get the franchise fee.
Okay.
Which anybody charge from $10,000 to $40,000. You have people that will charge $100,000 depending what it is. So that's the money that you give me for me to help you with the training. That's the first money that you give me, and then you pay for your construction costs, everything that you need to get that business going. And once that business is going, is royalty fee. So for me, it says 6%.
Okay.
And then you pay a 1% on marketing. You was talking about earlier. I
Yes.
want to do my own marketing. So you pay 1% on marketing. So you pay in basically 7% of your income to the franchisor.
To the franchisor. And their responsibility is to market for you, to help you with your marketing. And then they gave you the recipe. They gave you the things.
Yeah, you run the business, and you're gonna get all the support that you can get.
That is crazy.
From me. So I'm gonna tell you how to run it. I'm gonna help you through the entire process. Construction, accounting, hiring. At the end of the day, it's your responsibility, but I'm going to help you, guide you, because it is your business. So
this is something I always wonder when it comes to the franchises. So, like, I know you said your first buyer is going to be in Baltimore. And, like, we're in PG County. And, like you said, you already know all the costs, for your price points and everything. Would you recommend, or, like, so say that buyer in Baltimore, let's just say if it was down there, but like the Baltimore Harbor, where their rent prices are probably out of this world, right? Do you have like a price point where you would tell them, hey, or I'm sorry, would you even step in and kind of consult with that person and say, like, I don't think you should look at this particular space. Like, this might be the space that you want, but I wouldn't suggest that for you. Maybe you need to look at a certain space that looks like this, or because like that's something I don't know, like when it comes to like franchise owners and franchisees, like do the franchise owners choose their locations for them?
We have to approve. We approve it. You look where you want to be, but I approve where you're going to be.
Gotcha. That's the boss stuff that I was talking about in the beginning of like and Once Upon Your Child.
Yeah. And with the lease, it's I have to know that you get in the right lease, because I want to know that you're going to succeed. Yeah. I'm not going to have you open and have all your savings and maybe your retirement put into this business just so you can fail, just so I can get a quick 30,000. Yeah. No, I want the royalty.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And then I don't want Salon 809 failing, because I have 8 buildings or 8 salons out there, and then that one, it's like, oh, that one didn't make it. Yeah, that looks bad on my name.
Exactly. Exactly.
And any clients you let down in the in between, right? Because clients will only know that location. Most clients will only know the one location close to them, right? So it'll be like Salon 809 sucks because the Baltimore one sucks. And it's like that might not even be true, right? But I need to make sure that this is successful for the entire brand. I dig it.
Yeah, and that's part of that scary process or the risk when it comes to franchising, because the
reward, Kalan.
The reward, like she said, you want those royalties.
I don't even care about that piece.
Those royalties, and that's in a way passive. Yeah, really, if you want to look at it.
It is. I mean, because once she does the initial help them set up and help them find, like, I mean, she'll check in every once in a while, but that's it.
Yeah.
That's as passive as it gets.
Yeah. So, like, what marketing? So, you said the 1% is typically added for, like, marketing. So, like, is that all the way down to they're not handling their own social media? Is that what you're talking about?
No, they will handle their own social media. The website will be under our website, so you'll be able to find all of the other locations under the main website.
Got you.
But they will be able to handle their own social media, but we will do national advertising and all of that. So for my first franchisee, she's not going to get that 1% charge right now because we're not there yet. But once we start spending all of that money on marketing, everybody has to put in. Yeah, I see
Salon 809 on my local NBC commercial.
Excuse me, it's in my body. It's going to be everywhere. Oh yeah, I believe that.
Oh,
yes. I'm about to bring a Salon 809 to St. Mary's County.
Yes, ma'am.
It's coming to you. Don't worry about it. Okay? They gonna be like, she got whole locks and she got a. Don't worry about me, okay? Don't worry about me. I'm on the way.
We just can't have barbers.
Exactly. No barbers. I'm not worried about it. I'm gonna open a Salon 890 for the barbers. Okay. There we go.
Right. Oh. So getting back to the process for the person to buy into the franchise. And again, like when you look at like these Chick-fil-A's, like you said, they want initial fee, net worth,
credit
to be
score.
The whole nine. So like what would you do if you were faced with this person has the initial fee of the 20 to 30K, whatever your the fee is, but they don't have the net worth, or is that even a requirement for you, first of all?
Well, yes. I don't think my net worth is that high as a Chick-fil-A, because I just know that once you open the shop, if you do what I tell you, it's going to be successful. But one thing that you have to have is to at least be able to good credit, because if you need a loan, right? If you need a loan, because nobody have the minimum investment, including the franchise fee, is $159,000. Not everybody have
just got $159,000 laying around,
right? So, but as long as you have good credit, you have the $30,000 to pay for the franchise fee, and you can get income or loans to support that business for the first 6 months.
Gotcha.
The expenses. That's what I'm looking at.
Okay. I like it.
Yeah.
That is crazy. I mean, it's not. So how many, first of all, how fast do you plan on, because is there a speed at which you plan on growing? So, I mean, is it like you're looking to do 2 franchises a year, 3 franchises a year?
I want to take it slow.
Okay.
Because I want it, even though I say I want the royalty fee, I know all of that is coming. I know the money is coming. I don't want to rush it. I want to learn the process. I want to be able to help my franchisees, the first one when they come. So I don't really have a goal as to how many I want in 1 year. I think I will take that as I go, as I learn, as I grow, and as I can handle it. Because eventually I'm going to need a way bigger team once I have 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't want to rush and be like, I'm going to have 5 people that want to come by. I'm going to sell it. And just at the end of the year, then I'm going crazy, having them fail, not being able to help them how I would want to help them. Okay. So I know for a fact, and the goal is to have Salon 809 in every state. And that's going to happen. That's for sure. There's no question about that.
Got you.
Period.
So, you say you're getting ready to start the process for the Baltimore Salon.
Right.
Now, that starts with the training. That's the first thing, or that's the first step. You'll be hands-on out in Baltimore, I'm assuming.
Yes, I'll be there. I think I feel, because it's my first one, but I think I'll feel like that about all of them, that I'm literally open a corporate location. I don't think she's going to be doing much. I'm going to be there. I told her, send me a list of the places that you're thinking about opening, and later today, I'm going to go drive around those places.
Okay, nice.
And so the first thing is finding the location. Then we're going to meet, and we need to order this, we need to order that, because she has an aggressive timeline, which is 3 months.
Okay.
So that puts the pressure on you too.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I was like, we can do it. Let's do it. Let's get it done.
Okay. And it's motivating, because especially if your franchisee is that motivated to get going as the franchisor, it's like that for me, that probably would get you going. Like, oh yeah, well, bet I'm gonna do this podcast and I'm out. I'm on a $295 right after this.
Yeah, and that's the thing about not you. If you franchise, you know, if you company franchise, it's not about just selling it to anybody. It has to be the right person that you, because it's a 10-year commitment. So you're gonna work with that person for 10 years. Yeah. And it has to be the right person. I don't want stress in my life.
Yeah. Is that standard, or did you make that? Is that standard, like the 10 years? Like from the franchise law book or something? Or did you? Yeah,
that's standard how it goes. You can negotiate it, because at the end of the day, I can be, you want to come in, I give you 5 years. But my thing is, if you want to come in and you don't want to do the 10 years,
what you getting in it for?
You're not really believing in the brand. The first 3 years, you know, you're not going to go, even though it's a good process, you're not going to make money tomorrow. We have to grow that clientele, and it's a processing. You have to recoup your investment. So it's, you know, you have to be in it to win it. So I don't think 10 years, if you have the right partner, it's a long time at all.
Gotcha.
When you started your salon, did you see it going this way? Like, was the intention always to get to franchising?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And it was to do it once I have 5 corporate locations.
Oh, okay.
But
yeah, you were already ahead of schedule.
So I wanted to have 5 before a franchise, right? Corporate. Once I did the 2, it was like, I don't want that many employees directly under me.
Okay.
I don't want stress in my life.
Yeah.
Okay. Employees is stressful.
Yeah.
So I'd rather have one franchisee that I'm dealing with, and that person is dealing with
their own.
Yeah.
So that's why I franchise sooner than
the 5
that I was planning on.
Are you going to keep these 2 under you, or are you going to eventually franchise them?
I'm keeping them, and I'm actually itching to go to DC. That's something that I keep talking myself not to do. Don't do it. But I want to open a 3rd corporate location.
Do it.
Oh boy,
do it.
So we'll see.
So I do have one question, and I think this would be very beneficial for a lot of the listeners that have businesses and everything. So, like, what would you recommend? And I know this is very subjective. It's going to be a subjective question, but what would you say a business, or how a business needs to look before they consider wanting to franchise their own business? Like, in terms of like years of experience, or years that they've done it, the type of money they should be bringing in, because like you said, you have to hire a firm, which costs money. I know that for a fact.
20, 25K, 30K,
20, 30K, 30K just on the firm, on the firm. Yeah. So like, what would you recommend, you know, as being a person that's doing it, that has done it, for somebody that is looking to get into franchising?
First, to know that you have a process that works and that it can be repeated, right? And if you have the process and it works, that means you have, or you're supposed to have your financials together. Have your financials together, because you're going to need the money. You're going to need to support the other person, the other franchisee. So as long as you have your financials together, and you know that your process work and you can repeat it. In my mind, and not in my mind, I did the second one, and even when I got on all of my permits, I don't know how to lay a tile, but I can tell if that tile is raised a little bit. Okay, so I'm hands-on, I'm there, I know how everything works. I know when that 3rd salon is going to be built, I know everything that I'm looking for. You know, so if you have a good process, it's, you know, then you can franchise in a business that's bringing money.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's a good point. As we opened, and I'm still tweaking processes, but you need a process that works.
I'm tweaking processes.
You're still tweaking processes.
Of course, I don't think that ever stops.
Okay.
That doesn't ever stop.
Okay.
You growing and you learn every day, and you want to make your brand better, and it's just, I don't think that ever stops.
Okay.
Yeah,
So don't be discouraged if you're still tweaking processes.
Oh,
yeah, I think
not
that's
at
just
all.
business in general.
No, yes, as you grow, you have to. It's no way.
Because you got to keep evolving with the times.
Yeah, definitely.
Just like how you said you had to change or pivot with COVID, something that you didn't think you were going to do.
Right.
You ended up doing it and it worked out.
Yes, and now I'm working on making everything more simple.
Okay.
You know, like the deep conditioners, we know, which one you need. We have a whole bunch of them. We're going to do level 1, level 2, level 3.
Okay.
You know, and from cheapest to most expensive, and depending on what it is, we'll give you the right one in the bag. So things like that you want to simplify things, or like memberships. We get ready to do memberships.
I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah, we're definitely working on that, and that's just a change. So we have to develop that. My system is capable of doing it. That's why I love the system. I think they need to give.
What's the name of the system again?
STX.
STX. So for all y'all out
share
there,
the good things.
so for all y'all that need some good systems, STX.
Yeah, for
memberships
hair
is
salons
definitely
and
the
things like
one.
that.
Because memberships will have you getting paid on reoccurring and not doing any service. Because that's me. It's me. Sis pays for so many memberships.
Yeah, me too.
Okay.
So, and you don't end up using it.
Nope.
So that's like, what? I gotta be making that money too.
Exactly.
Yeah. So now my mind is racing
because Go Stretch need memberships. They need to be franchised.
Because she brought up something that I hadn't even thought about, but like the deep conditioner and the products and stuff. So the franchisee, when they pay you the initial fee or whatever, like, does all that come from you, the franchisor, or are they responsible for getting all their own products, or keeping their shelf stocked with equipment? And
so when I say your investment at minimum, and that means if you open it depends on where, it depends on the square footage, but the minimum investment for you to open a salon is $159,000. That means you can open a salon with $159,000, including all of your bills for that month, including all of your equipment, your construction costs.
Gotcha.
Absolutely everything that you're going to need to you lease the deposit for your lease.
Gotcha.
It includes everything.
Okay.
In terms where they get the products, we tell them. Which
Okay.
vendors we use and which products we use.
Okay.
And that's one of the reasons why I'm trying to simplify that. That way
see.
it's not, so much for everybody, and also for the front desk, you can train them faster. You don't need so much training. Hair extensions, they have to get it from me.
Okay.
Directly from me. They can't get hair extensions from another vendor. It has to be from me. And all of that is stipulated on the disclosure document.
And what about the conditioners and stuff like that? Like, so you said if you give them a specific vendor on who you should go with, what if they purchase outside that vendor?
As long as it's the same products, and if they're trying to save, and then it's fine.
All right, cool.
I like it.
Yeah, no, that's good.
I love it.
That's good. So real quick before we wrap up, I want to get into some of your other income streams with the 809, because I saw you've been doing a lot of traveling, and I see that you do like classes and teaching. So like, what made that come about?
Because I had a health issue, and I never had to wear hair extensions, and I ended up having to wear hair extensions. I've tried every hair extensions that there are. I tried them all. So when I found out about the Brazilian nuts, once I had it in my hair, I was like, okay, it feels natural. This is amazing. By the way, I have them. And so I decided to get on the share at that point, right? So I went to training in New York by the lady who was doing my hair extensions, and I went to training in California.
Okay.
Because I wanted to know it so I can train my girls to do it. Okay. So I wanted to grow the business because people see it on me. Oh, I want it. I can do it. So we've been doing it for about 2 years almost. Okay. So I went on the share. I was doing it 4 days. a week now. Then I went to 3, then I went to 2 and 1, and that's how you transition your clients. I can't do it, I'm too busy, but I have trained this person, and I have my staff doing the extensions with me to make that client feel comfortable.
Gotcha.
And that's how we transition. And then I started doing the classes because it's not that many people.
Gotcha. Yeah,
that do it in Maryland. It's a high ticket item. So I'm training, but that was the whole goal the whole time. It's like, we get on the share, grow the brand, teach, and then train the staff so they can do it.
Gotcha.
I love it.
Tapping into those income streams.
Yes, and so if I'm a salon owner somewhere else, I can call you and ask you to come and do training for my salon.
Yes, for sure. Yeah,
true. And it's going to cost them.
It costs.
It's going to cost you, because now I'm sharing my knowledge to potentially that's going to help your salon.
Right.
Yes.
So you're not going to get it cheap.
Yes, no, it costs. Yeah, and I've traveled to Burma, to Vietnam, to Cambodia to go get hair. So I have the hair vendors. So I also do the hair vendors.
She went to the source. Do you hear what I'm saying?
I went to the
Denzel Washington from American Gangster.
Exactly.
Like flying in herself.
Exactly. Now you could have gone on Alibaba or AliExpress, right? But we don't know what's happening there, so we're gonna go to the source
and make sure you get the right stuff.
Exactly.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
I love it.
I'm all about giving my customers the best.
Yeah.
So I like the best, so I like to give my customers the best, and that's why I do that.
That's cool.
So I meant to ask you this earlier, and I completely forgot. You're not still currently working your federal government job?
No.
I didn't think so.
2 years ago.
2 years ago. Okay. You said, that's enough. I'm good.
Yeah. I was like,
there's hope, Kalan.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I'll be off.
For sure.
I'll be out of there.
Uh-huh.
I ain't worried. I'll be out of there.
No, don't. I did it for 4 years, and then once I saw that it was the right time, which I was just getting too stressed, I was like, the money is not worth my stress.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I quit.
Okay.
And that's when I found my second location, by the way, because then I had more time to do it.
Because then you had more time to do it, of course.
Focus.
Yeah.
I said that to so I have a young girl who comes to work with me at my business once a week, and I was telling her, I was like, I don't have the time. It's because she asked me, she was chastising me actually about not responding to an inquiry that came in. And I was like, I didn't see it. I was like, I don't spend a prescribed amount of time on the business every day, right? Like I have certain days that I spend doing things, but not every day. She was like, you have to spend time every day. She was like, I need you to respond to these messages. This is about my business. She's like, I need you to be on the ball and respond to these messages. And I'm like, okay. But I sort of, the 9 to 5 takes up so much time. Like you really can't tap in the way that you would like to. And so at some point there's a trade-off, right? At some point, Jeimy said 2 years. She was like, okay, I have to do it. And then you get so much more time where you can do so many other things, i.e. open a second location.
More efficiently, because the thing is 9 to 5. So like, even if you work on something daily, because like I feel I do something every day.
Okay.
After work. Something, whether it's with Stream Chasers or Go Stretch, I'm doing something. Okay. But the amount of time that it takes or how effective this email blast is, because I'm tired. So this one isn't going to be as good as that one that I'm going to do on Saturday when I don't have to go to work. Yeah. So this one you might just get 1 or 2 lines and it's like whatever happens, happens. But that's the difference versus if I didn't have to go to work Monday through Friday, because now I'm not forced to get it all done this day. Yeah. I can spread my stuff out because like now I know I have 8+ more hours to get all these other things done. It's like I'm going to take care of that on Thursday when I feel refreshed again versus doing it all in Tuesday evening or stuff like that.
Jeimy about to have me leave my good government job. Okay.
The new job that you just got.
Oh boy.
Wow. Yeah, no, it definitely helped. I was looking prior to leaving my job, prior to finding the second location, I was looking for a second location for about a year.
Oh wow.
And it was as soon as I left it was like automatically I found it.
Wow.
Yeah.
I feel free. I have not looked back not once.
Yeah. That's good. That's good. So, you good, Candace?
I'm all right. I'm gonna be all right.
So, of course, our show is called Stream Chasers. So we know you got your Baltimore location, getting ready to start, getting ready to get that plan and effort underway. In addition to that, what's next for you in terms of like potential income streams, things that you want to tap into? It might not even be salon related. Is there anything else that's on your radar?
Airbnb. I have an apartment in DR if you guys need a place to stay.
Okay.
That I just literally finished furnishing.
Nice.
So that's why I was traveling.
Okay.
So yeah,
congratulations
Airbnb.
on that. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
I literally it's so funny. I just listened to I did a lot. What is that thing called? Go-to meeting, right? With the ladies that we had on the show last time, Paragon Investment Partners. So I did a go-to meeting. Their last go-to meeting was on short-term real estate, aka Airbnb, and different ways to do that. Jeimy about to be on the come up. I learned some numbers. I don't know if I'm ready yet, but I learned, and I was like, okay, all right, I'm here for it. Especially in the DR. Come on.
Yeah, because once you said DR,
this makes so much sense.
Yeah, we're gonna have to wrap after all this.
Just fly, go get you an apartment. And then you got to figure out who's gonna manage it for you on the ground. But I'm here for it.
Yeah, that's why I didn't leave a rental, because it's actually to the point where you can rent it, but I just didn't like one of the management company. So I was like, I'll deal with it when I go back. I'm not in a rush to. Again, I'm never on a rush to anything. So I'll rent it when I get back. I think money follows. If you do the right thing and you want what you love, I think money follows.
I like it.
I like it.
All right.
So many things. This was a good episode. Like, I learned so much, right?
Yeah,
so I learned a lot about franchising. I learned to get my situation together with my policies and my procedures. I learned that, and we talked about Airbnb. We talked about so many different things. And so I feel motivated, but I also feel like, I have so much to do.
There's so much to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I like it too. Definitely motivated me, because for us, it's already something that it's a strategy that's on my list. It wasn't necessarily something that we said we're going to go that route, but it's something that's out there that it's like, if we want to, we could potentially go that route.
Yeah.
But just hearing it firsthand, from somebody that's actually doing it, definitely motivates you to like.
Exactly. Because Dr. Nelson only got 2 hands.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. And whenever we do start scaling up, which is going to be soon with employees, it's like, you might not be doing so much with your hands, but now you got to manage all these employees. So it's always something.
Yeah, always something. But I think it's better to have employees and have them do it. And at first it's kind of scary because it's sort of like an investment. But then it grows. It's supposed to grow if you're investing in them.
Yeah. I like it.
Miss Jeimy, where can the people find you on the websites, the social media? Give them the rundown.
Yeah.
Pretty easy. Salon 809 in Instagram. Brazilian Knots MD for the hair extensions. Salon809.com. For the website, Salon809franchise.com. Pretty easy. But if you go to Salon809.com, you can find everything there. Pretty easy.
Good.
Beautiful.
Nice.
Look at that. It's been one, Stream Chasers. It's been a day. It's been an episode.
Guys.
Thank
this
you
is
for
a first
joining.
for me. I was nervous.
Thank you for joining
Not
us.
a problem. So, Stream Chasers, you can find us on YouTube, Spotify, Google Podcasts,
Apple,
all the places.
all the audio places.
Okay, go to www.streamchasers.work because Stream Chasers
Do the work.
just got paid.
Just got paid.